Hello everyone, Debbie here. I just wanted to go through my recently completed bee journal with you. I've been working on the pieces and parts of this for quite a while. My name means bee, and so this kind of represents me, and I plan to use it to journal in 2022. So I have lots of places that I'm going to be journaling. The kit that I used as my base is from Artie Mays, and she does have an Etsy shop. I followed her process using paper towel rolls for a curved spine, and then using thick cardstock for the covers, which is just covered with fabric. I started by coffee dyeing all of the papers that I used in the journal, and I've been collecting all this ephemera for a very long time. This is from Tim Holtz, Light the Way, and this little tag you see here is repeated throughout the journal using the Sizzix dies from Tim Holtz. The cover has a piece of corrugated cardstock with gesso on it, and this zipper is from Zipper Stop, and I loved the vintage brass pull on it. This is a sample of what I used, and then I just cut it down. And it's actually glued in and then sewed into the corrugated cardstock after the fact. You'll also see throughout the journal that I've used the papers from the Country Diary of an Edwardian Lady book. It's a mouthful. And this happened to be a little piece of bee paper in there with a little tiny hive on the edge. The book is held together with Hug Snug seam binding, and it's got a real vintage look to it. So let's look at the inside. There is a pocket in the front cover, and it's got, this is from Andrea May's kit. Artie May's kit. It's transparencies. It's very easy to make. You just punch out the circles, and the transparencies were actually printed on my HP printer. And this is, again, that same tag set from Sizzix that's just embossed and then fussy cut. And throughout the journal, I have a few little things that other people have gifted me throughout the year, knowing that I was doing this. And this is from my daughter. This is a vintage placemat, and I used my envelope maker to do a little journaling card. And then this old piece of paper that I had. And this is all sewn together before it's actually glued in as the front cover. There are actually 3 signatures in the journal, which I made first and then assembled at the end. It's just a little bookmark. You'll see a lot of stitching throughout. It's just zigzagged on my sewing machine. And also lots of lace. I've used this beehive stamp throughout, and then you can see a little bit of a gold mist, try to create a honeycomb pattern. This is a little bee prayer, also available in Artie May's Etsy shop. And for my birthday this year, my daughter gave a beehive to a family in a country where beehives help the family to make a living. So that's the little card that I got from that. And I have this little bee throughout the journal. These pieces of ephemera were actually made ahead of time as well, and I sewed them onto sari silk, and you'll see sari silk throughout. It's just a little journaling card. And I also have some stamps throughout that I've made. Very easy to make from book pages, you're just using your postage scissors. And this little pocket, again, is the Sizzix tag Another little tag, little glassine envelope. This is a little note card, beehive on it, for journaling. And this is the large tag. You can actually make these from sealing wax. I actually bought that already made, but if you like to do that, it's fun as well. And this again is another transparency little specimen card. This is the double transparency. Actually printed on an HP printer. I'm sure I gotta put that back in. This little envelope, some note paper. Another pocket. This is actually from a Tim Holtz paper pad. So is this. And this is a fun little bee with the two-dimensional wings and a little piece of resin, and then just some book pages and tags to hold it all together. This is just a tag, a little grommet on it for journaling. And another tag, and this is an image from the Edwardian Ladybug. I actually had to fussy cut and cut all these slits into that paper. It was not a die. And this lace throughout is just zigzagged onto the page before the whole thing is assembled. This is a little magnet. Just use book pages. There's no card, very little cardstock in this. Makes it too thick, so it's just papers. This belly band is actually just assorted fabrics. I made a large piece of it and then I just cut out strips as I needed it and stamped on fabric. This is an embossed envelope. And then I used some gilding paste on the raised areas. Not sure what I'm going to do with this yet, but I just loved that Sizzix die of the honeycomb. It's possible that as I go through the journal, I'll have things that I want to attach, and so I might just attach them to that. And I love this paper behind this belly band. It is a piece of old piano roll paper, and you can actually see the song that it played. A friend gifted this to me a long time ago, and I hung on to it knowing that I wanted to use it in this special book. And I loved how this ribbon fit right through that piano roll piece. This is not a resin. This is actually done with a thick embossing powder. It's another little pocket. This is actually printed on vellum in my HP printer, and the color came out really well. I was very happy with how it looks. It's just my little, an envelope die that I have. Makes the little serrated edges. Put some tags in there for some more journaling. And this is just a little note card. It's on some old journal calculating paper. It's all zigzag stitched. And then the lace makes the pocket on the bottom. Just another piece of that beehive. There's the other side of the piano roll paper. And I cut this little jar out of my Cricut. This is just like a waxed string. And this pocket has another specimen card, and this is done with an embossing. Just take the 18 gauge wire and then whatever image you want to put in there with some thick embossing powder and melt it. And this is just a little booklet. It's kind of a raised paper. And then a larger glassine envelope, and it's got a little waterfall journaling card in it. Lots of room to write. And on this side I have a little pocket with 3 tags. And this is actually sewn and then glued into place. Graph paper is always fun too. This is actually the center of this signature. And this is a William Morrison paper that I got from Artie Mae's Etsy shop. More journaling specimen cards, and this is from a Tim Holtz pack. Journal on the back of that. And then on this centerpiece on either side has a pull-out for journaling. And that is actually all sewn together. And then there's a little bit of bee fabric on the edges here. This belly band is actually a little hidden tuck spot for writing. Fan folds out. There's lots of room to write there. And in many spots there's the vintage photo distress ink, giving this a very aged look. This little dragonfly is cute. And there's another little magnetic bookmark. And the last page is a little embossed pocket. And I used some gilding paste on the raised areas. And then just another tag. I hope you enjoyed looking at my bee journal. I have not linked anything, but you all know how to reach me. So if you want to email me or text me, I'd be happy to share any of the ideas. Thank you for watching.